into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll get a chance to see Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings as they take on the 11-year man Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. With that, let's head inside the Ford Field in Detroit. We're standing by are the two men who will bring you this one, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, the seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in pretty desperate here for a win as they've started the year 0-5.
And it seems way too early to start talking about hot seats. But guess what? When a team is 0-5, people start wondering about their jobs.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Vikings heading out, and it's Kirk Cousins at the helm in his second season in purple and white, 8th year overall. 30 touchdown passes for him a season ago. That's a career high as he aims to get the Vikings back into the postseason. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Play fake, Cousins. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. This is caught inside the 15. A huge play there right off the bat. 58 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd year back from Florida State. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Cousins gives way to Cook, and he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll run it. Here's Kupp. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And they do exactly what they wanted to. Opening drive, they get into the end zone. They do it on the ground.
And not only is the person lugging the ball happy, of course, because he got it into the end zone. How about the offensive linemen and receivers who are blocking for him? They have to feel great about themselves, sticking it in the end zone on a running play.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now a 7-0 game. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions under second-year coach Matt Patricia. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
The run there on first down gets him a yard to the 26. On the tackle, it's Trey Waynes. And now the offense for Detroit.
Each and every year you like to spotlight guys who improve their game from year to year, and wide receiver Kenny Golladay did exactly that with Detroit in 2018. More than doubled his receiving yards, went over 1,000 yards for the first time in his career, and went from a guy who was a jump ball specialist to a guy who can run the full route tree and become a dependable downfield threat.
They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. Defensively, let's go ahead and meet the starting 11 for Minnesota. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
Watch the slats.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On fourth down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Marcus Sherrill's back deep for Minnesota. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, Vikings. Stefon Diggs, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And Detroit getting set to go now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. The numbers for Johnson in last week's game: 13 carries, 57 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
You ain't going nowhere.
Now to Galladay on the jet sweep. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Man, that's trash. That's trash.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
I can't believe they even let you play.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now we move our focus to Stefon Diggs. Sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense. Kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist. You know, that good stuff. Got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that time and change things up a little bit and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, trying to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. First down, here's the run with Kupp. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Throwing is Cousins. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well. Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Draw play, Cousins to Kupp. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Throwing, Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Cousins. And Diggs has it. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks.
And Rudolph has got it. The big tight end for a Viking touchdown. Kyle Rudolph. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover him? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You're going to yell at me? You go cover him.
Bailey got the extra point, and it's now 21-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Well, a couple of good division battles coming up in primetime this weekend, starting tonight with Sunday Night Football, Eagles and Cowboys from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Then tomorrow on Monday night, it's the defending champs, the Patriots, on the road at MetLife Stadium to take on the Jets. 2 not to miss to close out Week 6. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. From the gun, here's Stafford. Complete to Jones. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, and it's the Raiders out in front as they approach halftime. Derek Carr has a couple of touchdown passes there. From there, we'll head to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting Jags who are out in front. D.D. Westbrook, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And that one all even in their matchup with the visiting Dolphins. In the game you're watching, it's been Kirk Cousins with a hot hand in the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. Again, it's Johnson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And now it's second down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Danny Amendola, the man he was trying to get it to. And it'll bring up third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Stafford now to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to make it fourth down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Here's Sam Martin now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Vikings to take over. They were victorious a week ago over Philadelphia. They lead here as well as they start out 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They start the drive with Kupp. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Cook following the penalty. And an alley to run. Cook able to escape. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he cuts it back right, and he's got a touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run with McKissick. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no gain, his guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star, he might have gotten a gold watch too, huh?
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Sam Martin now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Sherrills to return it. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's Stefon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. You never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Uses the stiff arm. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
In your face.
Again, it's Cook. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. A 10th carry in the game for Kupp. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Don't let him breathe. Play that tight D. Don't let him breathe, defense.
Cousins now. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. The end result, 21 yards.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Cousins. Left side caught by Diggs. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate.
And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right?
No.
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Extra point try by Bailey. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. That time a 6-play drive, and it's polished off by a Vikings score. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Out of the gun, Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The pass complete, this one to Danny Amendola. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. And he'll find Galladay, that's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. On 1st down at Stafford. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 1st down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. Stafford, and he's got Amendola on the connection. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 23 yards on the play. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
2nd down and goal. Stafford nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Minnesota, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Detroit, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.